welcome to Let's Talk with Boss Lady, and I'm Boss Lady. Tonight we're going to be exploring a very interesting topic, and we're going to be discussing the pros and cons in the selfish nature of human beings. Now, when we talk about the selfish nature in human beings, we often think about the negative, but there's also pros about it. There's always pros and cons in anything that we're doing. But before we get into that, we have 3 winners for our Black History Hero Contest. And we have a first and a second and a third. So our first winner is Raheem Tomlinson, and he will be winning a $200 vanilla gift card. And you see what happens when you put in your work? I told y'all. So anyhow, and we have Danae and her Smith, and she came in second, and she will be receiving a gift card of $150. And we have our third winner is Tiffany, and I can't pronounce her last name, I'm sorry, but everybody will be contacted, and you'll be receiving a $100 gift card. Now, I will be having something for the adults, so when I tell you to email me regarding our contest, yeah, we got some sponsors, and we'll be giving out vanilla gift cards and all kinds of stuff. So, that was for the conclusion of our contest. Today, I'm doing something a little bit different. We have a panel discussion, and we're going to be exploring the topic of selfish nature in humans. And I'm so excited to have this conversation only because it's Easter. It's Easter. Let me introduce Natalie for you. Hey. And this has been a good friend of mine as well. You'll have the pleasure of meeting the others as well in a minute. But we're just going to first start out by talking about the selfish nature in humans. So I'm going to raise an opinion, and I'm going to bring our panel in. Okay. Now this is Stephanie. Stephanie, say hi to everybody. Hi. Now this is also the lady that makes my my arrangements. Yeah, she made my balloon tower. And do you want to let everyone know the name of your business?
It is called Lit D&D, that is living intentionally through decor and design. You can find me on Instagram at Lit D&D. And yeah, feel free to follow.
All right, so that's great. So let's discuss the pros and cons of selfish behavior in humans. So I'm going to raise a thought. Now, being the fact that this is Easter, ladies, and where do you think we as human beings have adapted this nature of selfishness when we all know, it doesn't matter what religion you're from, we all have some form of religious background. I think that is a fair statement, right? Whether it's Allah, Jesus, whether you're Buddha, there are certain things
foundation.
Exactly, there's some form of religious foundation, and I believe that we all, in my personal opinion, I think what divides us is the cultural within our own culture. I think that's what divides us. But there is a truth in the foundation. Absolutely. in all religions. Yeah. So I just don't understand the selfish nature when we say we are all want to go to heaven at some point, and we know that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should have life, and we're supposed to have it on more abundantly. So if he clearly was not selfish, where did we get this selfish way? Well, we all want to go back to the book of Genesis, and then we want to talk about when Adam and Eve and the serpent, I guess that's when sin came in the world, right? So I guess that's the forte for everything. Yeah. But if we really study selfishness, we could be here for a very, very long time if we really study selfishness. So that was just a point that I would just like to put out there. I just don't know how we acquired this selfish attribute that or characteristics that some of us have, and some of us tend to tarnish people, really maliciously hurt people, sabotage people.
Because you don't agree with what I'm saying, so you're marked out, you're put aside. It's true.
Exactly.
So true.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, and it can't be like that. You know, it can't be like that. So we do have somebody else that will be joining us, but that will be in a later segment after. So I'm just gonna put it out there. If you and I are friends since Sunday school days.
Sunday school, Kill Street.
Yeah, Kill Street, long time. You and us have also been childhood friends as well.
Yeah.
We've, you know, there's times when we weren't in contact. We're adults. We all have busy lives now.
Yeah.
But from what I know, I was never sometime-ish with you or selfish. I just keep it real with you guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's great. And now that we're all adults, we're successful, we're doing well. You have your business. You're now working for a bank. Like,
Yes.
proud of you.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
Proud of you. I can't have anybody that we can't. We have to have positive people in your circle.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
If you want to be successful, you got to have positive people in your corner, and you have to rule out selfishness. So I'm just gonna go in and dive in it because I just hope everybody is ready for it.
Right.
So you and I have been friends for quite some time. Now you and I could not establish our friendship until now. We're in our 40s.
Yeah.
If I was a selfish nature, if I was only a friend for my own personal needs, is that correct?
There are people like that. Yes, true.
Now, why do we keep people like that around us?
In the sense of keeping people in our life that drains us, if that's what you're coming towards, right? Why? I think sometimes it's guilt. We feel sorry for the person.
I don't feel sorry for people that are angry.
Okay, sometimes I
Please,
feel sorry.
Please speak for yourself. I don't feel. I have no problem question. I know, but I'm just putting it out there.
But typically,
Yes, I know what you're
right?
saying. Not everybody's like me. I get it.
Because sometimes you just feel sorry for the person, and it's eventually maybe if it's a routine, then you get tired, and then you realize that you know what, this person is taking advantage, and you kind of cut the person off.
Okay, but why? I don't mean to cut you, but why do we keep an anchoring situation? Do you get what I'm saying? The person is anchoring you, and it's a pro bono win-win for them more than it's for you.
It's an unhealthy learned behavior. That's pretty much what it is that it's probably the same pattern they've been doing all of their life. Like you're
used to people always.
Exactly. Or you're they're not a no person. So they're always saying yes even when they don't want to do things or keep certain people around. And it's just like, it's hard to break those ties.
So what I'm gathering from both of you is that there is a set of us that just like to keep useless people around.
I mean,
us.
not anymore.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you.
I'm just saying though, but you know, like you eventually.
Okay, so eventually you wake up and you smell the coffee.
Exactly.
It's like seeing the good in somebody.
Exactly.
You give the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
You know, Natalie sometimes looks beyond, or maybe they will change, which we do, some of us, maybe not Mel, but some of us.
Put it out there.
Some of us tend to, you know, and it's just when you kind of get tired of certain things, you're like, you know what?
All right, well,
Okay,
well, I heard both of you. Now I'm going to tell you how I feel.
Amen.
I'm going to tell you all how I feel. You guys need to stop this. It's selfish. If somebody has someone, if you have a friend, this could even apply to in any type of relationship. If you have a friend, I don't care how long your friend is, you have to assess that, because I'm all about building. I'm all about kingdom building. You need to wake yourself up. You need to pick yourself up. You need to curse the spirit of poverty.
Right.
How could you break the spirit of poverty? And how could you say you want to reach here when you have Job?
Life teaches you to think that way.
Absolutely.
Job is pulling you down. Sheila tear you down. And then you're talking about, me feel sorry for them. Also, me feel sorry for myself. You know, see my mother?
You Money from birds.
From money. That's another reason why I cannot. I can't have people, and I'm really trying to wake people up to realize that we have anchors. Yeah, we have anchors in our life, and I love I love, like, you guys, your point of view, but we also just need to sit back and just realize that. Why should I allow somebody to take advantage of me?
Right.
Selfishness, yes. Selfishness and users walk hand in hand.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And you can't have an opportunist just knocking at your door all the time. You can't do that.
Yeah.
You
A lot of
know?
people are naive to it and they don't see it right away. Not everybody has that intuition and that third eye to say, this is what's really happening. They're not seeing that. And it's when they see it and when they come to that realization, that's when that pain, that hurt, that it's hard to let it go, but eventually you come to that realization. You're like, I cannot progress any further in my life if I keep certain people or certain energies around me.
Yeah, when you want to reach, you that no one is there for you.
Right.
And you're always there for them.
Yes.
That's when you pull that.
You see, that's what I'm talking about.
That's the breaking.
Why didn't you see the signs before? Because sometimes, no.
Why is
you know what?
Like, you know,
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, I understand. But this is why I'm trying to say we need to look at the patterns in human
see
beings.
those signs.
We need to look at the patterns and the signs in human beings, because there are some people that are destiny killers. Selfishness comes in with destiny killers, and they want to suppress you.
Right.
And this is why I'm so adamant on it. And I tend to keep people in my circle, very few in number. Very few.
The less the better.
Yeah.
The less the better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's very few, a very small handful. And I can't even say a whole hand.
To succeed, you need
right.
You really do, because honestly, there's too many anchors. And I find, and if you really look at all of our my topics, from valuing and fear from the first show to low vibration, and now we're dealing with the selfishness of the human nature, you'll see that there's there's stages, and we're all I'm doing is really getting into people's mental state of mind. You can't say you want to leave from the hood and say you want to live in the suburbs, and your mentality is the same. You're just gonna be a ghetto person living in the suburbs. And you know what? In Day in the Light and Dog and 7 Pup, your ass is gonna be right back in the ghetto.
Yeah.
Because you haven't changed. You haven't changed your circle. You haven't changed your selfish ways. You have not adapted. And that's what I'm trying to get at. You have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to look at your... It's the truth.
Yeah.
But you also need to... The thing with selfishness, you also need to not just... to know how to be your brother's keeper. How are you going to be your brother's keeper when you're just a taker? You have a friend and you're just willing to take that friend. It doesn't matter what she's going through. She's there. No, I don't business with them. I'm just saying for your mental state.
Yeah.
How are you going to be able to deal with this situation when you have an anchor that is literally tearing you down? We often say that, it's brotherly love. No, it's not brotherly. That is not brotherly love. You need to exercise. It is. We need to know when to exercise wisdom. That is not wisdom. We need to know how to apply wisdom into everything that we're doing. This is not using wisdom, people. You need to wake up, look at your friends right now. Everybody needs to go in the mirror, look at yourself, assess your friends. If you have more than 10, you need to drop some of them, because some of them don't mean you no good. And call yourself a hypocrite. I will be telling people to go to the mirror a lot and call yourself a hypocrite, because you need to understand that if you want change, the change starts within you. It starts within your circle.
Absolutely.
And selfishness is a thing that really tears us all down. Now, it also goes into man and woman situation. Lord.
The one that heavy.
Very heavy. Me feel like something just licked me in my back. Right? You can be married, and for X amount of time, and then you find that the person that you're married to was only there for you for their own personal gain.
That's true.
I mean, how do you deal with that?
Well, all the ships, they run the same. All ships, friendship, relationship, whatever type of ship. Once you acknowledge that it's not helping you, benefiting you, you'll throw the anchor over.
Jump ship.
All ship on the side.
That's what I'm saying, because I'm happily divorced. I'm just putting it out there. I'm happily divorced.
Right.
And if you're not, but the problem is, it's not you and I. We're strong.
Yeah.
The problem is when people, I love it, and they're like, I'm married. I'm like, right? I mean, you well and know how the thing's set. You know the thing's set. You have married men going outside of their marriage, looking for, and listen, any single woman, don't pick up no married man. Don't. They're selfish. You have a problem in your house and it keeps forcing you to go outside. You need to divorce. Figure yourself out. Don't get people wrapped up in your situation, because then when shit hits the fan, you want to get upset with the other person. Enough is enough. Figure it out.
Absolutely.
Figure it out. No young girl pick up, no single woman don't pick up no married man, and no married woman go out there and go pick up no young boy. Don't do it. I don't care. Leave it alone. You have a problem, go get a divorce. Don't use people. It's selfish.
Yeah. It is.
It's selfish. It's selfish on so many levels, and it irks me. It really irks me, and it rubs me the wrong way. You guys need to stop. Your problem is not the person, and when your other people them find out about the people them out the road, you want to get vexed. No, the problem is your house, and you know you're not happy.
When you come into it like that in the first place.
Okay? That is the reality. Now I'm going to be bringing our next guest out here shortly, but I want to explore this a little bit more. So I'm glad we're all on the same page here. And it doesn't mean just married. It could mean like you could be living with your child's mother. I hate the terminology baby mother. I hate it. You guys stop it. I really hate it. You know, I hate it. Baby mother, baby father. I don't like it.
What should they call them?
Your man.
Okay.
But what if they're not?
Common law?
You don't have, why do you have to call it something? Why do you need to prove something? The only reason why people say baby mother, no. The only reason why you say, I'm a baby mother, you know, I'm a baby father. No, because you feel like you owe somebody an explanation because you're not married. I'm with them. I don't really care. I don't need a title. I'm Melissa. I'm fine. Or boss lady. I don't care. I don't really care what anyone thinks about me. You're not paying my bills. You're not paying my bills. My weave costs at least $300.
Hey, boss lady.
That's just for 24 inch, okay? 28, we're talking, and I have no problem paying it. A lot of men ain't doing it, and I don't really care. And this is why I have the attitude that I do, because I don't have time for selfish nature. There's some men that would want to come in my life, and they just see where I am, and they want to try and piggyback off of me. I have no time for it.
Yeah.
I have no time for people who want to come in your life because they want to think that you can hook them up with something at a bank. You know what I'm saying? You don't have time for that. You need somebody on your level. Somebody will see you and they'll say, oh, you have your business, and they want their so-and-so is getting married and they want you to do up the wedding.
No, thank you.
And there's it don't work like that. So these are all reasons. These are all selfish qualities within people.
And I think on a level, everybody, to some extent, it may not be extreme to say they're using somebody, or I think it's just a natural nature of ours, because we look out for ourselves first before we look out for anybody else. So I think that's part of it. But it's also like when you get to that point, when you recognize, okay, well now am I really just doing this for myself? Or am I doing this because I really want this person in my life and I want to be together with them? You know what I mean?
You're really noble.
Sometimes it's all they do.
No, but you're really noble. I like how you said that. I like how you put that out there. Like, I'm just saying that. Yeah, you're really noble. Maybe it's just me. I'm like really like.
What is your sign again?
I'm a Libra. I have to stay balanced. There is no.
I'm bipolar.
I'm not bipolar. I'm not.
I wouldn't even say that.
Scorpio.
Yeah, but you don't go there because you
Beautiful
sing.
Scorpio.
You sing, but the thing is.
No, I sing for a reason.
But it's the same thing with me. I have to be balanced. When I'm off balance, I'm a scale. I have to be like this. Okay? If I'm like this, When I'm not balanced, it's not nice. But I try to keep certain characteristics of people away from me so I stay balanced.
Yes.
For my
just cut out the negativity and just
and for my wellness. Well, mental wellness. We talk about mental health. We talk about our spiritual realm. What you eat, they say you are what you eat.
Absolutely.
And when you think about your body, mind, and soul, it's not just your body, your mind, and soul. Because when you're just downloading negativity into me, it weighs me.
Yes.
And depending on how much you've deposited, maybe it might keep me up all night. And then I don't look so nice anymore.
Right.
And I look like, and then after
there are certain characteristics of people that just are, and it doesn't matter, they could be the nicest people, but sometimes it's just their energy.
But it's
draw the wrong
and
energy.
they come around you. And I'm speaking like from a work sense, like certain people and in the workspace sometimes.
Right.
They're nice people in general. Great, but the energy is so off to mine. It just, by the time I get home, I'm driving home, I'm just like,
so true.
I can't even. Like, and this is debrief.
Honestly, I hear you. This is why I have to work for myself, because we can't deal with. I did the corporate world and whatever. I have to work for myself.
Yeah.
Because when I can't deal with the people, let me tell you, come out to the shop. Straight up, tell you, come out. I can't.
It's true.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I really, that is true, because you're dealing with different people at work.
Right.
Different spirits, energies, everything. And
Yes.
be careful.
It's the truth,
There's times I go to work, I go like before my shift, and I just say a word of prayer and just clear, because if it's not the clients, it's your person you're sitting beside, your coworker, the manager. The enemy comes in different ways, different forms. So we have to acknowledge that.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The enemy comes in different forms, and this is why I'm saying there are certain people that are assigned to just spiritually make sure that you do not surpass them. You don't surpass them, and it's a selfish nature, and we need to be able to really know how to identify. We need to be able to identify the characteristics of these human beings.
You have to.
And it's hard. How do we get that person to know that? Like,
you don't need to worry about them.
Not them. I'm talking about you as the individual that have that person around you, and you don't know that that's what that person is. You have to look at the signs.
No, but you have to. You see, this is what I'm saying. You see, when you guys are talking about signs and everything like that, Libra. Big up all the Libras. See,
my sister's a Libra, so we're a bit kind of.
Because as Libra,
right here.
No, as a Libra, I'm sorry, we have a different intuition about us. Sometimes we have a sense of reading people. This guy was literally trying to. He was talking to me in the restaurant by my shop. And it was in Dundon's Kitchen, as a matter of fact. Nice, it's a nice restaurant. You guys should check it out, Westwood Mall, along with Island Time. If you're looking for any form of vegetarian meal, their okra and broad beans is nice. You need to go in there, and you need to hit up Dundon's Kitchen. Their barber fry is wicked. Barber fried chicken is good. I love their porridge in the morning. Their breakfast specials. Yeah, man, the breakfast. I love food, manga, but I can't eat. I'm manga, but we can't eat. I don't even start talk about the house of jerky and chicken and things. I love my belly. I'm sorry, I love my belly. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I ran into him in Dundon's Kitchen, and I said to him, he was trying to talk to me. He's like, every time I come in here and I happen to see you, I didn't even know he's paying attention to me. He's like, I've been on my phone. I go, well, it is mine. I do pay for it. So I mean, like, I'm supposed to use it. I don't get it. And then he said, well, he's been wanting to try and talk to me, but whatever. Okay, fine. So he talked to me. And just like my spirit said, he's a Taurus, And I said, what month are you born? And he's like, we already reached there. I said, I'm asking you a question. If you have a problem with telling me, then,
Have a nice day.
Exactly. So he's like, what sign am I? He's like, what do you mean, what sign am I? I said, what month you born? I said, you're a Taurus, aren't you? He's like, I'm born May. I said, yes. I said, He's like, how did you know that? I said, my spirit told me. Anything my spirit tell me, go with it because it never leaves me around. So people you need to sit down and meditate. You want to know?
That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, you ask me a question.
Yeah.
How do you know? You need to meditate. You need to sit there. You need to sage out your house. You need to make sure that you are at a point where you have a personal relationship with your Lord. And you need to make sure that you are allowing it. It may sound crazy, like, Lord, is it okay for me to have so and so as a friend? No, there's nothing wrong with that. You often know if somebody is supposed to exit your life. And when he adds people, he adds and subtracts people out of your life. Absolutely. Especially if he thinks that person is not benefiting you. But you see what the problem is? I'm going to tell everybody, I listen to all you guys. I'm going to listen to what the problem is. You see, we as human beings, we get too attached.
It's the attachment, yes. But the reason I asked you is because I wanted you to put that out there so you can tell people.
No, I know. I know.
Hear it, right?
Yeah. We get attached to people. And we often don't know how to let them go because we feel bad, just like Natalie said. So why are we feeling bad? Why are we feeling bad when at the end of the day you need to think about...
see the potential.
Listen to me. Forget about the potential.
Oh, child.
I'm joking.
I feel like
I understand.
Listen to me.
There's levels of different nature for different people. And I feel like... And I don't want to put it back on the signs, but I feel like sometimes Sagittarius are just that forgiving in nature. We don't. And the thing is with us,
you guys are naive.
Not naive.
You guys are
I'm not saying
naive. You guys are naive, and you guys like to have the last say at times.
Absolutely.
So work with me. But I know. Listen.
The side is over there.
I know my sister's a Sag. You're a Sag. I dated a guy that was a Sag. Okay, two of the I know. Okay, so I'm not doing it again.
Yes, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like that it's just innate for me. Like, I am very forgiving, but once I am finished, I am finished.
Yeah, but you guys give too many chances, man. Like, wake up.
I can't even deny that.
No, but I mean,
sorry.
like, your sign irritates me. I'm sorry. Your sign. I can deal with.
You brought up signs.
You brought up
I'm
signs. I'm just saying. Your
But
sign.
she loves me anyway.
I do. I love you. I do. But I'm just saying, like,
But yeah, I recognize I own it because I'm like,
No, okay, you know, since we're
It does
talking
have
about
some type of foundation.
No, it does. And the thing is, when you
earth.
understand astrological aspects about your life and
who you
the
are.
star that you were under, you will do better for yourself.
Absolutely.
Because I'm saying, like, your sign, since you brought it up, you guys endure a lot. Like, I mean, like, people really kick up on
we will
sometimes you guys take a lot.
And then when we're done, we are done. But I mean, like, for me personally, it was a lot of growth in just starting to recognize and reading into that intuition, that conversation with God, that meditation, and just being who I am and just knowing who I am, to say, okay, I can kind of see people as they come. When they're coming, I'm picking up. I know who you are. I kind of know who you are. I'm feeling that energy.
It's just like the cartoon character. You have God on this side, you have the angel on this side, you have the devil on this side, okay?
Yes.
Remember the cartoon character?
Yes,
yeah, with Bugs Bunny and whatever?
Yes,
all right, so even if you don't even, there's always something that tells you.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't hear it. That's what I'm saying.
That's why when I'm
listen.
Yes.
There's too much. No, there's too much.
Noise.
There's too much tick broken on the ears. Take the tick out. I'm just saying, we need to reiterate our friends, our circle.
Absolutely.
The men you attract, the women you attract.
Yeah.
If you don't want to,
type of cycle. I mean,
if you don't want to attract the same type of things and you don't want to have the same type of problems, we need to take away this. We need to try to identify the selfish nature in human beings and how they affect us, how they affect your own personal mental health, your own personal being, your own personal growth. I personally could care less. If I think that you're a sheep in wolf clothing or wolf in sheep clothing, I don't care how it says, how it go, you're gone. If you get 3 chances, it means that I really cared about you. If you got 3 chances with me, I cared about you. I cared about you. I maybe cared about you a little bit too much. 1 chance, no problem. 2, you're gone. You're very lucky if you get a third chance with me, because the thing is, your walk also changes you. Your circumstance, your experiences in life also programs you on how you want to deal with who you allow in your inner circle.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really trying to get at. It's just about really understanding how people are. And then we wanted to, and it's just funny that we're talking about this, and it's Easter. I mean, the other day I was cleaning out my closet, and there was this homeless girl in the Malton area. And I'm not talking about it because I'm looking for points or anything. I'm talking about it because it came in my spirit to do it. And whatever my spirit tells me to do, I do it. I could have just brought it to Goodwill, but I always see her. I packed up so much jeans and tops that I gave it to her. And one day I went to get gas, and I literally saw her wearing one of the jeans. I'm like, wait a second, I don't wear jeans. And I said, oh my gosh. And she was wearing the jacket I gave her too.
Show appreciation right there.
Yeah, and I was like, I felt
good.
I felt good.
Yes.
I felt good. I could have given it to Goodwill and they could have sell it, so they're getting 100% profit, which is selfish, I think. They're getting 100% profit. I gave it to her, and she really needed it. So I mean, like and it's not just about giving money. It's not just about giving clothing to show that you're not a selfish person. You're selfish if you only think about yourself. You're selfish if you only are thinking about how you can gain from a person or a situation, and your intentions are not really for that person. Right. Those are selfish qualities. Definitely. It doesn't mean your mother can be selfish too. Your father could be selfish too. You just have to know how to deal with these people.
Right.
It doesn't matter who it is. Even our children can be selfish. They can only as you get your children turn into adults, I have adult children, they tend to only need you when they want something. You have adult children, so you know. So you have a long way to go. Yes. I mean, but the real thing is, if you have that relationship, a good relationship with your children when they're small, when they turn adults, they're going to have their life, but you always have that communication. Because I know you have it with yours and I have it with mine, but again, we're just exploring the selfishness. It's just like even within our Black race, we are very selfish within each other. I'm going to call our next guest out here, and so we can discuss the next level of selfishness in human beings. So I'm going to welcome Tamika to come on the show now. And we're going to explain more when we're talking about the Black race too, because our race overall is very selfish. Our race overall is very selfish. And I'll explain exactly what I mean when I say our race is very selfish. We would know something. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Okay.
I'm not sure.
Right. No, because you laughed. We'll know something that can help. I'll know something. You know exactly where I'm going. I'll know something that can help you. And I keep it to myself.
You sure?
I'll keep it to myself. This is Tamika, everyone, from TGC Financial. Also, she's my sister. You want to say hi to everybody and let's explore the selfish nature in humans?
Hello, everyone that knows me as Tammy and not Tamika. TGC Financial. Bless you all. Same person. Same person.
Yeah. And so,
just ignore it.
We are just going to continue. I find that people, our race, are like crabs in a barrel. We're not all gonna get along, but in all honesty, for the ones that we can work with, we have to work with those ones. I find that we don't build within our community the way how the Indians and the Chinese do. I find that it's also selfish. I think if you have information, like I work in the mall and there's a lot of East Indian people, it's predominantly around me. And they share information. I literally see it. I literally see if somebody never, like, you don't have this in your shop, oh, go to his shop over there.
Right.
We don't do that. We don't work with each other. That's also selfish.
Yeah.
It's also selfish to know that, let's say you make festival and wings in this shop, and you see people coming in on Wednesdays for festival and wings. Now you're gonna start doing barbecue chicken bak.
But even if they did that, is that a bad thing?
No, it's
Because
not.
there are millions of people in the city. Let's not look at it like it's just a small community. If you can't physically accommodate the amount of people that's there and somebody else can, we can look at it positively and say that, you know, not because you just do the same thing as me means that it's fighting against me. It just means that we're serving the community better.
I understand, but we're just dealing with the negatives right now. We're gonna get to the pros, and if you had listened, then you wouldn't have come with that right now. So we're dealing with the negatives right now. We're gonna get to the pros in a minute. So we're dealing with we're dealing with the negatives right now because everybody sees selfishness in a negative form, and then we're gonna address the pros because there are a lot of pros in it. Because when you've been kicked a lot, you know, it's your turn. But anyways, we're gonna get there in a minute. So, and again, it isn't a negative, but you'll take it as a negative. The reality is your restaurant can't service a whole community. You're gonna get exhausted, you're gonna get burnt out. And I do see your point. But I'm saying instead of being happy for that brother because maybe they weren't having as much traffic coming through their shop, maybe they just needed to reconfigure their business to gain another attraction. Now you're vexed because you feel like they're making more money than you. What do you care? They have a family. Why do you want to take bread out of their mouth? You can't be that selfish.
There's enough for everybody to eat.
Exactly, and that's my point. We have to just be able to give information and know how we strive. Now I seen your point. That was a really good point. I really do, and I really do, and I really appreciate that because we all can't service a community. But the problem is we often think that we want to do it all.
So that's a selfish nature within yourself.
Yeah.
Like personally for me, I hear your view on the community, you know, Pan-African, Afrocentric people, period. But that said, I feel as though we've made mountains and we've grown tremendously. Like right now, Black women are the next millionaires. We're the ones that are sole proprietors. In the last even decade, Black women have been thriving as entrepreneurs.
Facts.
You see CEOs and presidents of organizations and companies and just building our brands. Steph and I, like I've been in business for 11 years. Reach me for all your accounting needs, income taxes, full service, TGC Financial, www.tgcfinancial.ca.
Right.
And as I've grown in wisdom, there's a lot of women in my circle that I've registered businesses for, that we've guided through, you know, and building their brand. And sometimes you just need people that don't think that we can't, or our history has painted the picture that we won't support. My business is 100% supported by the Caribbean, Canadian, Black community, 100%. And I wouldn't be in business for 11 years without everyone. Right. And so I look at it that those oppressions I don't think exist as much now as they did before. Maybe through platforms just like this, because we have these conversations among ourselves, and we're just like, we don't have to be that way.
Exactly.
You know, you do something. Steph is a jack of all trades. Okay, like all trades. Okay, and it's just we literally, just like you said, we can change the narrative. If she can do like 50 things and it's okay with her, then why not hire her to do that? But at the same time, if she lives in Mississauga and I live in Scarborough, why not have somebody else and just say, hey,
exactly.
Can I learn off of you? Can I have this brand?
Exactly.
That's why franchises exist.
Yeah.
You keep the concept going, but you put it in a different demographic and somebody else is running it. they're eating, their families and their community are surviving.
And they're still surviving.
Absolutely.
If your children are doing good, you're providing, and that's what it's all about.
It is.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about. But the problem is, it's like when you just look at, you just want to do everything on your own, and you don't, and then you want to be upset with somebody else when they're trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing that really bothers me.
I feel like people need to get out of that mindset. And even for me in the business that I do, where it's just solely me usually doing the decorating, doing backdrops, all of that kind of thing, that's fine. But there are times where I have to outsource. I can't do it all because I will be there for 5-6 hours trying to set up, when I can do it in 3 hours and outsource some of the things that I can have somebody else come in with, and they get paid off of that. So it's like everybody makes money. Everybody is doing their thing.
It's a
collaboration.
Exactly.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
It's a good cycle. It's a good cycle. And when you think like that and you're positive, it comes back to you 10 times full. It comes back to you because you're sending out a positive energy. And, I'm the same way. There's so many people that said to me, oh, why are you hiring somebody to do that? I'm like, well, I'm tired.
It's true.
I'm tired.
One person.
I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I can't do it yet. I shouldn't say I can't. I can, but I'm exhausted. I need sleep too. I don't need to look like I need toothpicks to hold up my eyes.
Yeah, work smart.
It's
not hard. Work smart.
Exactly. And then you have a little bit more family time because let's face it, we're business owners and things get a little bit hectic, So if you can pour into a family if needed to, and I'm not saying you're giving them a handle, you see the skill in that person, give it to them.
That's true.
Bless them.
Yeah.
Especially when it's within your own community. Give back to, keep things within your community. Isn't it nice when you see somebody else that you've seen coming up from so long and they're doing well? It's nice. I mean, I've literally known people since I first opened my business, and when they see where I am today, they're like, wow, I'm so proud of you. And they really, the name fit you, boss lady, the name fit you. I've come a long way. And I mean, if I was a selfish person and if I kept a circle of selfish people around me,
This is true.
I wouldn't make it this far. So this is what I'm trying to get everyone to reflect on. Yes, we may have gone off topic, and we may be talking about some things. You've made some really good points. You made some really good points, because we have reached far as a race. As much as we still are crabs in a barrel, and I will say it, not all of us are going to get along. It's inevitable. This is not romper room. We're not in kindergarten where we all have to get along.
You literally don't. That's important. Stop looking, and I think that's not ideology. Stop looking for everyone to get along. Stop looking for everyone to say the same things.
It's not happening.
Everyone has their own personality. Everyone has their own path, their own journey. Find your niche and build on that.
Absolutely.
And we need a person in every point of life. And I think I said this yesterday to a group of clients that I was talking to. And when you think of from birth to death, when we have someone in every element of life and the full circle, we don't have to go out of the community, then we know that we've made it. We're comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
We've had real estate agents, you've had real estate agents on the show, you have service industry people on the show. There's so many things, but the evolution is get the entire need of the humanity, of humans in the community addressed by the community, and then all of a sudden we're set. You don't have to worry about other people and what they're doing and what have you.
And you're absolutely right. I don't mean to cut you. You're absolutely right. I find that we're too often worried about the next party.
Yeah, don't talk about them at all. I never look at us and say, what are the Chinese doing or what are the Indians doing?
No.
I never look at life that way.
Yeah.
All I look at is what's your talent. And at every age, I feel like every decade even, you might evolve into something else.
Exactly.
Because who you are in your 20s is not the same person you are
No,
in your 30s.
you're not. And the funny thing is, people tend to come in and out of your life, and they think that they can pick up where you left off, and you're the same
not the
person.
same
You're
person.
funny. I'm not the same person.
I don't even think
Where
the
you
same
could have
way.
just give me. No, I'm not the same person in my 20s. Because if I was dating you when I was in my 20s, and you could have been like, you could have probably, me and you would probably go to Red Lobster. You're not bringing me no Red Lobster. Are you crazy? Where am I going to Red Lobster for? What did you say? If I find out, let me tell you something.
Are they vegan? I don't know if they're
Okay,
vegan.
listen. Just no.
I
We're
don't
not.
know.
No. Listen.
But I get it.
No.
I understand.
all their biscuits up on here. Listen, I know a really good restaurant. The minimum plate is $150. You better have that kind of money to be taking me out.
Okay, boss lady.
Okay?
Boss lady has spoken.
Because I can take myself there.
I can take myself anywhere.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So we can do it on ourselves. So I'm saying the selfish nature of people. You can't expect to see me. You knew me in my 20s and you want to just pick up now, or you knew me in my early 30s and you just want to be like,
yeah, no.
And I'm like,
I don't even know who you are.
excuse me? What are you doing with yourself these days? How are you? Come a shop, come look for you.
We don't speak the same language.
For what? No. What are you coming to the shop for? I don't understand. Like, what do you want from me? What do you have to deposit into my life? What have you done for me lately? That song from Janet Jackson? Okay. Yo, that's true. Yes. What have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah. Okay. All right? That is facts. And I mean everything. It doesn't matter what relationship it is. Mother, daughter, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, friends, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
If I like you and everything, but if I find out that you're using me or you're just you're gone. I don't care how long I know you. I don't care.
Absolutely.
You have every right.
You're gone because where I'm going, I can't mentally allow you to pull me down with your baggage.
It's absolutely true.
And I mean, like, we're business owners, Nat who works at a bank, we're all doing great. I can't have people around me that's unemployed. What am I doing with you?
Unemployed are not progressive with what they're doing or what they're trying to accomplish in life, period.
It's selfish.
What if they're transitioning? But like, for how long? How long does that transition take?
I think that too. That's another thing.
No, because you're going to be looking at me and you're going to say, oh, can I have a loan? Can I borrow some money? There's a problem right there.
I am not your financial institution.
No, listen.
Right.
Listen, somebody called me the other day and asked me to... No, I'm serious.
Maybe you don't want to say it on the show.
I don't care. Ask me to lend them $2,500. Now, you tell me that is a mortgage payment and some bills.
Right.
What you take this thing for?
When I'm getting it back.
No. When are you getting it back? That we don't go beyond that conversation.
Listen, you see, Natalie,
Step for a loan.
Hold on. Natalie's time is done, right? I don't know how she gets like this.
I never done.
No, but hold on a second now.
Never done.
This person asked me to lend them $2,500.
How much interest did you say you want?
Listen to me.
We're in agreement.
Okay, hold on. You and Natalie are in agreement.
No.
If you listen to my answer, then you'll know there was no further with that conversation.
Absolutely.
Because I'm going to tell you guys something where both of you went wrong, while you are both going to allow the same selfish people in a life. I would never have it. No, hold on.
Say something. No, it depends.
No,
it does.
There's no depends for me. I'm with you. I was just.
Hold on.
Devil's advocate.
You know, Sagittarius nature.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like nothing.
Give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, Sagittarius are mean. Scorpios will give you.
Anyhow, when you're coming into agreement and you're talking about interest,
all right,
and you're talking about when they're going to pay back, you're giving a perception that you are going into this arrangement. I don't have time for that. I don't need anyone to use me. You're not going to look at me and say, oh, I can get it from her, she has it. No, you're selfish. My job is not, there is payday loans. Do you understand? You could even get money off of your baby bonus. If you didn't know that, Money Mart will take you cash max, cash money. Find one of them, but not me. Because I work on my I use my hand and my 2 foot sometimes the way on my body pay me. When I look at myself in the mirror, I'm saying, yeah, man, I look young. But then when the body start have some pain, I say, no, man, I'm old. All right?
Need them.
But it's just some persons believe that they can just have an easy way in life and they can gain it through you.
That's true. That is
and I'm saying the moment you entertain by even saying repayment, interest, if that thought process comes in your mind, you're already, I will say, I don't mind if I say, here, you know what? Here's a $50, nobody give it back to me.
That's different.
I know your limit. You could lose $50. So
I could lose $100. You know what I'm saying? But Miss Lola, may her soul rest in peace. She always told me, na lend, na borrow, na beg. So because I don't lend, borrow, and beg, nobody can ask me any of them to something there.
Absolutely.
Once you traditionally put yourself on a certain level and you try to minimize the anchors out of your life and to eliminate vultures and destiny killers, because they all are tied with selfishness, you will do fine. You will soar. You have to be able to look people in the eyes. You can't be afraid to tell them how you feel, because now we're going to get into the pros of selfishness. You have to think about yourself. Now we're going to start talking about the pros of being selfish, because when people have been taken for you, it is your time now.
Absolutely.
And guess what? When you start being selfish because you need to think about you and your people are just using you, guess what? You're stush. I hear it all the while. I'm stush.
You don't know nobody.
Yeah.
I go on like me better than people. That's my business. And if I don't act like I'm better than anybody, if you really know me, you will know I am the nicest person in the world. But if you step on the con, I'm gonna tell you where to go. That's facts. So let's talk about the pros of selfishness.
Protecting your peace. I think I said that.
Yeah.
Protecting your peace when
Absolutely.
you're looking about yourself. I mean, I don't think if you deny yourself of the things that you need and just look at someone else, you're doing an injustice to yourself as well, you know, then your life is not being taken care of. So being selfish, I mean, I think that term is loosely in this perspective, right?
Yeah.
But it's really just maintaining yourself and looking out for you first before you can extend yourself to someone else. Like, what if you're broken inside? How can you deposit it to someone else? Like, and you need that energy to build you.
Absolutely.
It's better you just, you know, give of yourself where you are strong, as opposed to, you know, emptying yourself and giving to other people.
Right.
It's a form of protection.
Well, that was a really good point. But you know, sometimes when you're broken, but I do have to say that sometimes when you are broken, you can deposit into somebody else, because your testimony might help me through my journey.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
So sometimes through your brokenness and your tribulation and your struggle is a testimony for others. Because God knows I could write a book about my life, and I know I can be a testimony to many people, because some problems someone gonna have, you guys really need to take a page in my book. Really. I have more kids than a lot of women, number one. So nobody can come to me and complain about nothing, because you have picked me. But anyhow, in your state of your brokenness was a very good point, but I just want to elaborate on that a little bit more. You can really deposit to people. Like, I mean, I look at when Jesus he knew he was going to die. He knew he was going to die. And what did he say? Can you just tarry with me? He wanted the disciples just to tarry with him. And they all went to sleep. Yeah. And he wasn't alone. But that's okay. Right. And I also explained this in my last show when we were talking about low vibrations. Right. So it's okay. And low vibrations has a lot to do with, you know, yourself. That's that time when you're isolated. Right. You're isolated. You retracted, you know, so you can gain that inner strength. And then sometimes while you're trying to get that inner strength, somebody else comes along and they're going through something, and it's like your spirit tells you to encourage that person. Tell them about what you're going through.
Yeah. But don't you think that that's because you've overcome that point, or you
haven't overcome? Sometimes you have it. Sometimes you're still in it. Sometimes, because it has happened to me. Yes.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of times that's similar to my story in certain aspects of life. Like, I'm going through it, but somebody else is going through it, and then we're just going through it together, but we're also coming out on the other side.
Right.
As somebody once said to me, we learn to dance in the rain.
It's the truth. And I really like that point, Steph, because I find myself into that predicament a lot. I think sometimes that there's an on and off switch in my life. Like, you know what, Shatram, put her through that.
Ebb and flow, yeah.
And when I go through it, because I'm such a free natured person and I'm able to just talk freely about what I go through or anything. I mean, I don't go out and just talk to anyone. If my spirit bids me to talk to this person, And literally, when that happens, sometimes I literally see people crying before me, and I'm like, oh my God.
You didn't know you had that impact.
Yeah, and then after I get hugs, and I'm just like even it happened the other day with me, and I was just like, wow. And this is why I just allow the Lord to use me and to be a testimony and a witness to people as He prompts me in people's lives. And I don't think at that point you're not being selfish. I think at that point you are thinking about yourself. You are, and you are doing you, but in the midst of it, because of everything that happened to you, you're now turning it around for good.
Selfless.
Yeah, and you're also bringing somebody out of their situation. So because you're now being selfish and you're thinking about yourself, but your selfishness is in a positive way, mind you. Because people have been taking from you. You had anchors in your life. You came out of bad marriage. Your husband did use you. Him a take money when he's supposed to pay a bill, and him gone gambling. All them are a story.
I hope no one's facing that right now.
Absolutely, right?
No, but if you are,
I'm being positive.
No, but
I hope no one is facing that.
No, the reality is somebody is. You need to get out.
Identify what's going on.
No, you need to
speaking to your soul right now.
You need to understand that is not a good situation. You need to get out. And you need to be positive and think for yourself. You see, often people think when you're being selfish to motivate yourself so you can get on a higher level.
That's bad.
It's not bad. And then you have the people that said, oh, you're only for yourself. And you say, oh, I only care about me and the picnic.
But then
yes.
That's when you have to open up that third eye, because those ones that are saying that are the ones that are not for you.
Exactly. So the reality is you're damned if you do. And you're damned if you don't. And you're not going to please everyone, but what you need to do is focus on you. Absolutely. You need to think about yourself. You need to think about how you want to get ahead. If where you're living, you need to set goals for yourself. And it's okay to have goals and be selfish in your goals. If you're single, if you're married, you need to have goals for yourself. If your goals cannot just be between husband and wife. Right. You are your own person before you were married. You need to understand that.
And as a mother too. As kids are going to grow.
As a mother, as a father, I'm not just dealing with women. I have sons. You have to understand that your goal is also for you. You are your own entity. Right. My shop is its own entity. It's a corporation, but my shop birthed Naomi Lashes, and it also birthed Let's Talk. If I was just selfish and only thought about just my shop alone, then I would only be this big instead of where I want to be, and there was a broader scale. If I didn't listen to the prophecies that were profounded in my life, I would just only reach thus far. Sometimes we are also given opportunities for advancement, and we don't take those opportunities. We don't listen. So you're not using the selfish way of yourself to better yourself. You're not taking that time to self-isolate. So these are the positive things about selfishness that we need to really respect in order to move forward. And I'm sorry, but if your spouse is not seeing your dreams, if you want to open a business and they're like, no, we're in a pandemic and we need money.
That would be the point of opening a business. I'm just saying. That would be
okay, but I'm sorry, but there are some people that are
they're negative. They're just negative. And then
go over there and get in their negative corner. I'm going to do what I need to do.
You in the next part of your life, does that person serve you? Everyone has a time and a season. Like everything in your life has a time and a season. I think it's important to be able to identify where you are at every point in your life. Like you can't just live for the moment. And I know we've talked about this stuff many times. Some people live on survival. And don't see anything beyond surviving their immediate future. And that's unfortunate. And so when you get out of survival mode and look future, and have that mindset, then you'll know that everything has an expiry date.
Yeah.
Something in your life might just be for a period. You might be a hairdresser in your 20s. You might in your 30s be a different profession.
Right.
In your 40s, you might want to be a doctor. Like there's no limit, and you don't have to be stuck in one place doing one thing with the same people. Find what serves you. And I think you've been saying this a lot, is listen to your inner voice. Listen to your intuition, listen to your spirit guides. Listen to yourself and build confidence within yourself. Trust your own words, trust your own thoughts. You don't need everybody else's input in your life. You don't need everyone else's whether even if it's positive or negative. You need to be able to function and stand with your own abilities.
Right, exactly.
With your own confidence.
And that was a really good point. I really like that. Tammy, it's really hard for me to call you that.
I just wanted my viewers to just know it's the same person. I know my face is still here. I just want my viewers to know that it's still here.
You're something else. You understand? You're something else. Okay?
This camera life is
These are both Marjorie's daughters, so Hey.
Hey mom, mom's watching.
Hey mom, how you doing? But anyhow, moving along. God, that was a really good point.
It was. Aren't I inspirational? So in my next segment.
Okay, no. Let's see over this.
It's a boss lady show. It's not a TGC.
But she feel self
Trying to take over your show.
Let's
harder. The bastard.
Anyways. All I have to say is that we really need to assess the people around us. Self-love is not a problem. You see, the problem is we don't like the word selfishness. When you hear selfishness, oh my God, I'm not selfish. Yes, you are. If you said you're self-love, you're selfish.
And that's okay.
I self-love, I'm selfish. I don't care. I love myself. I love myself.
Exactly.
There's always a pro and a con to everything in life. So we're just going to wrap this up real quick. So, self-love. Love yourself.
Absolutely.
My sister raised a good point too about listening to your intuition. Sometimes you want too much cooks in the kitchen. My dad always used to say that. Too much cooks in the kitchen. You have too much people depositing in your head, and then you get confused.
Exactly.
And that's why when you mentioned when you're going through the storm, sometimes, you
gotta dance in that ring.
You gotta know to dance through that ring. And that was another good point. So I hope everyone has been listening keenly to the pros and cons of the selfish nature in human beings. And I hope you guys really look in the mirror and ask yourself if you're using people. Because if you're using people, I don't know how you're sleeping at night, but you need to stop.
Exactly.
Straight up. You need to stop. You need to stop. Or some bad karma going to happen to you. You can't be selfish. You can't be selfish to people. You have children. We need to think about this. Assess selfishness, and remember, the sins of the parents don't always land on the parents. It comes on the next generation, the generation after that. So you need to know what you reap is what you sow. And you sow what you reap. So do unto others as you want them to do unto you. And don't talk about Christ if you know that you are really using people and you're being selfish in a very negative way. And when you see people that are subtracting and retracting, and they just want to do a little self-love, congratulate them. Support them because maybe they're just coming out of a storm. You understand, ladies? They might be coming out of a storm, and they need to put some more time into loving themselves. Maybe they need to spend a $300 shoes. Maybe they need to buy a whole new wardrobe.
Retail therapy never hurt nobody.
I have no problem shopping at Michael Kors when I'm upset and when I'm happy. I mean, like, honestly. And Marciano, love Marciano. Honey, I'm stepping into Fendi now. Honestly.
Why not?
Stepping into Fendi now. Fendi is
and that makeup line that we talked about.
Speaking of makeup, I can't wrap up with not talking about this lip gloss that I'm wearing. Okay, so this young lady I met, very proud of her, young black girl. And if I can get this out of the box, how did I put it back in here? All right. She even has this packaging and everything. I hope you guys can see this. It's called XO The Lush Life. And she has vitamin E oil in here and No, I love this. She has vitamin E oil and coconut. So you need to hit her up on Instagram. Hit her up on Instagram. I love to see progress within our youths. You know, sometimes our older heads, because they wasted their time and they didn't do nothing with themselves, they tend to, the generation before us, some of them tend to get upset when they see younger people doing well. I'm not. Our generation tends to be happy for young people when they're doing things. So her lip gloss is not cheap though. A $28 fee. $22. But I'm telling you, it is worth it. Look at this packaging. My lips are conditioned. It feels like I'm wearing, you know, Bliss Sticks?
Yeah.
Bliss Sticks, how it conditions your lips without that tingling feeling. My lips.
Real moisturized.
Yeah, real moisturized. I mean, like, I could probably go in the water with this, and then, you know, the bubbles will be on your lips.
Right.
I need to go on a vacation. I'll go in some water and test it out.
Where can we find her? On Instagram?
She's on Instagram. And it's EXO The Lush Life. So hit her up. I expect to hear that she's getting at least 10 more sales after this show. So no, hit her up. Hit her up.
Yeah.
Lip gloss is good. And stop walking around with dry up lips.
Oh God.
Okay.
Not the dry lips. Not the dry lips.
So we're gonna wrap this segment up right about now. This concludes our segment for today.
And I think this is our 1 month. This is your 1 month.
Yeah, this is 1 month today.
Yeah. 1 month. And I think the viewership is just keeps soaring. It's like over 250 the last show.
Yeah.
200 and I think it was going 260.
260. Nice. So everyone that's sharing, I mean, big up your damn self. That's a wonderful thing. And everyone who's tuning in, subscribe, follow on Instagram.
Subscribe. I'm not asking for no money. Sometimes people think, I'm going to subscribe.
It costs nothing for a like and subscription.
Sometimes they think you're going to ask for an arm, a leg, and a kidney. I don't want none of that.
Yeah.
Please.
Just support.
Just support. We appreciate everyone.
You never know. You never just subscribe, Lord. Don't subscribe for all kind of things that don't make no sense. Subscribe to the button.
Like
and share, because all this is about empowering. We need to empower our mind, body, soul, and spirit. And if you're really looking at the topics that we have, that is exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So please remember that I'm still connecting business owners together. We're still networking. And if you have a business idea, please email me at glamourtrend7@gmail.com. That's GLAMOURTRENDZ, the number 7@gmail.com. I want to go ahead and thank JJ Web Services for all my webs. So I want to thank Brother Sheldon from Hope Ministries. I want to thank Royal Haven Salon. Check her out on Instagram. That's Royal Haven TO. I want to thank TGC Financial. You want to just give them the name of your company?
D&D.
All right. And give them your Instagram too.
It's at LitDND.
All right, you're here. So
LITDND.
You can give them your Instagram. You're here.
At TGC Financial. www.tgcfinancial.ca.
At TGC Financial.
We are welcoming all kinds of clients.
Yes. We're not prejudiced. We just like money.
That's right.
So, I also would like, not last but not least, I want to thank the Ultimate Cut Barber again. You can big him up. He's on Instagram, the Ultimate Cut Barber, for all the lights. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I want to thank for all the loyalty. All the loyalty. This is 1 month. This is my 1 month anniversary. I want to thank everybody for sharing, subscribing, and just being loyal to my show. I want you just to know that we're going to be aired again on April 18th. Please do not miss that show. We are going to have a platform. We're going to have some counselors up on here, because you see, we're going through a pandemic, and there's some people and within our race, we don't even talk. We believe that we can't talk to people. We think, honestly, Black people, we have mental health issues, eh? We have mental health issues.
Trauma. Yeah, we do.
We have whether it's childhood trauma or we do have it, and we all need counseling. I tell my mom every day I should go to Dr. Phil, and she laughs. She said, go on. I tell her one day I'm going to reach there. But
Until then, next week's segment.
until then, next week's segment, we're going to have some counselors on. And, you know, they are going to be on to help people at any stage of your life on an affordable scale. So please watch, because this pandemic has affected people in different ways. Job security, food. Remember Basket Brigade? It wasn't just for that segment. You can hit her up. We all need to be our brother's keeper. Eradicate negative selfishness. That was the point of this episode. Eradicate it. Make sure your mind, body, and soul is healthy. And this is Boss Lady. This is my Let's Talk Corner, and I'm out. I'll see you next time.